Hello everyone, what is happening? I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video here at Most Amazing Top 10. History was one of my favorite subjects at school. I think it's so interesting to learn about the past and how they thought and how they lived through everyday life. It's literally like they came and lived in another world. Okay, well they didn't come, I guess we came after them, but you know what I mean. But what really blows my mind are cave paintings. The fact that people from thousands and thousands of years ago thought to create things that would help us know about their existence. I'm sure that's not why they did the paintings and it was more just for them if anything, but still. It's pretty damn cool what some of these are actually like. Do remember to subscribe to the channel guys, as well as top 10 Hindi videos for the best and latest content. But enough of that, this is the top 10 scary cave paintings that shocked the world. Starting us off at number 10 is the Altamira cave paintings. These cave paintings are located near Santillana del Mar, which is in the northern part of Spain. Funnily enough, the paintings were discovered by accident by a hunter named Modesto Cubillas in 1868, but weren't giving much mind until 1879. These paintings shocked everyone, and I mean everyone. Why? Because it was so well preserved, specialists seriously doubted their authenticity. The paintings were done around 35,600 years ago, yet their colors and details were so vibrant it was quite suspicious. It was only at the start of the 20th century that they were accepted as authentic. These paintings are single-handedly the biggest pieces of evidence of Magdalenian culture, and most depict charcoal and ochre, let me know if that's how you say it, pictures of horses, handprints, and bisons. They were so impressive that Picasso himself said after Altamira, all is decadence. I mean, that's pretty heavy words from Picasso himself. Coming in at number 9 are the aliens. These pictographs were found in the Woonamarra Gorge in Australia. Again, my apologies if I said that wrong. These paintings date back to approximately 3000 BC and they depict the Aboriginal Wandjinas, I hope I said that right as well, I probably didn't, I'm sorry, which is a type of religious deity or supreme spirit that were the creators of land and people. But the way they've depicted them is just super weird. They literally look like white versions of the alien emojis on our phones. White faces with no mouth and large black holes for eyes, and they also have this sort of halo around them. The other black figures drawn amongst them look like what can only be described as closely resembling Dementors from Harry Potter. Some interpretations of these paintings say that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth tens of thousands of years ago and had direct contact with these people. Some Aboriginals believe that they even played a role in creation, which could explain why they drew the Wandjinas looking like aliens. At number 8 we have the Chauvet Cave. This one is located in the south of France and only really gained notoriety in 1994 after 3 speleologists discovered its walls were covered in Paleolithic artwork and that it also contained the fossilized remains of various animals, many of which had become extinct by then. So that's a lot of useful scientific and historical knowledge in that cave already, and we haven't even specifically talked about the art yet. The cave shocked people for many reasons. It was ridiculously large, and the quantity and quality of the artwork found was quote-unquote spectacular. It's literally been named a cave that has some of the best preserved figurative cave paintings in the world, which is insane since most of the art there is 30 to 32,000 years old. The paintings had animals in there that had never appeared in previous Ice Age paintings, as well as many other animals that had. Surprisingly, it had no paintings of full human figures, just one figure that seemed to be a vulva attached to an unfinished pair of legs. As of now, it's one of the most significant prehistoric art sites on Earth and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Filling our number 7 slot is Las Gil, Las Gil, Las Gol. There were so many types of pronunciations, I really don't know which one's right. Please don't slate me in the comments. These are the cave formations found in the rural parts of Hargeisa in Somaliland. Even though the cave was known to locals of that area for ages, the caves only gained international attention in 2002 when an archaeological survey was undertaken by French researchers and they were shocked to find this cave undocumented. The cave contains very vivid paintings which are some of the earliest known cave paintings in the Horn of Africa. The rock art was created between 9000 and 3000 BC and it's so well preserved till this day because of the granite overhangs. The artwork features cattle in ceremonial robes with humans, and the necks of the cattle are embellished with plastron, which is basically the flat part of a turtle shell. I didn't know that either, but now you do as well. And they also include other animals like dogs and giraffes. shots. The colors on these paintings are so vivid, I would believe if someone told me they literally painted them a month ago rather than thousands of years ago. Now at number 6 are the psychedelics. Tassili N'Ajjar is a national park located in southeast Algeria. And of course, these caves also became part of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites list in 1982. Most of the art in there dates back 12,000 years, and there are more engravings than there are paintings. There are 15,000 engravings in the cave, and they consist of mostly large animals like crocodiles and antelopes, and it even has humans dancing and hunting. But they also include something called fungoid rock art. Back in 1989, psychedelics researcher Giorgio Samarini claimed that the paintings that look like fungoids were proof that people inhabiting the Sahara Desert had taken psychedelics. There's one bit of artwork that depicts various masked figures in a line dressed as dancers surrounded by festoons. And each dancer has a mushroom-like object in their hand with lines coming out of the mushroom and connecting to the dancer's head. Now it's obviously open to interpretation on what the picture means, but I think you can see why Giorgio took away from it what he did. And believe it or not, psychedelics aside, the caves also house alien depictions. Flying saucer-like figures in the sky, and people that look like humans but have one eye and just have very alien-like features. The pictures are quite creepy, I'm not gonna lie, but these caves seem to just have it all. Coming in at number 5 is the prehistoric Sistine Chapel. Yes, I'm not kidding you, that's what some people have nicknamed the Lascaux Caves. Located in the southwestern part of France, there are a lot of caves in France on this list, I just realized. The caves have in them more than 600 paintings, mostly of big mammals in the area, humans, and abstract signs. The art inside the cave is meticulously split into those 3 categories. The paintings were the product of a huge combined effort spanning many generations. The earliest painting was done 17,000 years ago. However, there's one painting called the crossed bison that grabbed everyone's attention. The crossed hind legs of the animal create the illusion that one bison is closer to the viewer than the other. The fact that Paleolithic cave painters had that skill and primitive form of perspective is evidence that they were advanced for their time. And funnily enough, the entrance of the cave was found by an 18-year-old walking his dog, and his dog fell into a hole which ended up being the tunnel. The boy came back with 3 friends thinking the tunnel was an entrance into the Lascaux Manor, but then they found the paintings. By 1995, the cave had 1,200 daily visitors, but that created a preservation problem because lichens and crystals began to develop, and on top of that they started having a huge fungus problem as well, so they've convened many times to see how they can preserve the cave. At number 4 are the X-ray paintings. The Kakadu National Park is a protected area in the northern part of Australia, and the place is massive. I'm talking the size of the country Slovenia massive. It's also home to one of the Earth's biggest concentrations of rock artwork. Some are nearly 20,000 years old, and they provide an insight into Aboriginal life like nothing else has before. The park has 2 main galleries, Burunkai, and Uber. I'm sorry if I pronounced those wrong, I know I did, I'm sorry. For these people, the act of painting was more important than the painting itself, and so they cover older paintings with newer ones. The art shows the objects they use every day, the things they do, and the animals they hunt. Some paintings can only be done by the person with the right knowledge, so someone who had no magic knowledge could not do a sorcery painting, for example. They would paint animals in order to place them in touch with the spirit of that animal, which would hopefully ensure them a successful hunt. But the painters didn't just draw the animals, they drew their organs and their bones as well, which is the first time discoverers had found depictions like that, and hence they were called X-ray paintings. Filling our number 3 slot are the underwater paintings. This one's about the Koski Cave located near Marseille, France. The cave was discovered by a man named Henry Koski back in 1985, but the public only found out about it 6 years later when 3 divers actually got lost and died in the cave. But if you wanted to find the cave today, you would just have to go through a 175-meter long tunnel, which is all well and good, except the entrance to that is 37 meters under sea level. That puts a bit of a spanner in the works, I think. Sadly, 4/5 of the cave's art was permanently submerged underwater and hence destroyed, but 150 pieces of cave art are still intact. Art like hand stencils date back to 27,000 years BP, and the newer art of different animals and signs dates back to 19,000 years BP. People were stunned at the fact that the art was A, underwater, and B, it was partially intact. In circumstances like that, the art would usually be lost, so it was miraculous that it hadn't been, and that's why it deserves the number 3 slot, I think. you guys can disagree. Now at number 2 are the Magura cave paintings. This cave is located in the northwest region of Bulgaria. All the paintings were done from bat poo and are done on stone. This is probably the most extensive series of cave paintings ever found, and they actually cover a range of epochs. The Neolithic, some other ones that I can't pronounce so I'm not gonna try, and even the start of the early Bronze Age. There are more than 700 drawings in the cave, and they fall into 4 groups: zoomorphic, symbolic, anthropomorphic, and geometric figures. The figures are mostly stick figures and not extremely detailed, but it's very easy to grasp what they're trying to depict. The cave was formed nearly 15 million years ago, and you'd have to walk a good 1.6 miles to cover the whole thing. It has one main gallery that includes 6 halls, and the largest one being the Ark Hall that's 69 feet high and 420 feet long. This cave is filled with quote-unquote art and is bigger than nearly all art galleries in the world. No wonder people were shook, I would be too. And finally, at number 1 is the Cave of Hands, also known as Cueva de las Manos. These caves are located in Argentina and are insanely famous for the numerous hands painted inside the caves. The art dates back to 13,000 to 9,000 years ago, and obviously a lot of different groups of people occupied the caves during that time. I mean, some of the earliest artwork has been carbon dated to 7,300 BC. All the hands inside the cave are stenciled, and most of them are left hands, indicating that the people probably used their right hand to hold the spraying pipe, or they sprayed the back of their right hand with their left. It made sense, trust me. Either way, the cave was filled with hands. There was also artwork of full human beings, geometric shapes, hunting scenes, etc. They used mineral pigments to make the images, like iron oxides to get the reds and purples, manganese oxide to make black, and so on. The site became a UNESCO World Heritage Site back in 1999, and people were glad. It's not every day you stumble upon a cave that's filled with sprayed hands dating to 7,300 BC. Just thinking about how much history took place in that cave and all the different people those hands could have belonged to and what their lives would have been like, I mean, it just blows my mind, it really does. And guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something from this one, and at least now you're well versed in the most popular and shocking cave paintings in the world. Have you guys been to any of these places, and how was it? If you have, let me know in the comments below, guys. And as always, I'm your host Eamon Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!